topic for this is we're not talking about hip hop, but I've always said that the death of hip hop as we know it is producers being broke as fuck, not wanting to pay money for samples, and using Pro Tools. Every Pro Tools song sounds the same. It's the same things that they pick. They're basically all using the same toolbox when they're making new music nowadays. And then they got an auto tune and all this shit. Back in the day, I mean, to be honest, most hip hop artists would try to get away with the sample first, right? Yeah. And then they're like, shit, okay, we'll pay you for it, you know.
It's funny TiVo brings it up, man, because there was a spat between there's some guys, I can't think of their name now. They're in the UK. They were really big producers. It was 3 guys. I think it was JWT or somewhat, but they produced Prince's. Because at that time, if you go back in history and look, at one time they said it was a royal court because you had Prince's, you had Prince, you had Michael Jackson, and you had Queen. They were all on the top 5 or something at one point. And so, but Prince's had a cut called "Say I'm Your Number One." But if you listen to it, and then you turn around and go listen to BBQ Genie, they almost sound alike. And so it was like he said, they would try to get away with a sample and see if they can pull it off back then. And what? Go ahead, Remo.
But then piggybacking off of what both of you guys said, when it came to the funk, you had to actually know how to play an instrument.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you were playing on tape and you only had one shot. It wasn't no cutting. You know how much it was to cut those tapes? I used to work at a studio where I used to have to splice the tapes and edit the tapes for them. Man, you had to use a razor blade to cut the tape. It was a tedious process, man.
And that's where the term cut comes from.
Yeah, so you had to get guys together. You had to put a band together first. You had to rehearse. You had to sound good. You had to have a sound. You had to record it, have enough money to record the song, and then get in front of the people and then start your journey.
And if you were trying to get in front of Prince, you had to be light-skinned. I'll just be
fine.
Because Alexander O'Neal come back to cut.
Oh, whatever, man. So O'Brien and all them, Andre Simone, them did, huh? I'm gonna leave that alone.
Hey, O'Brien.
Hey, you can see. Hey, O'Brien got some cuts.
Hey, O'Brien.
Yeah, ain't knocking O'Brien now.
Oh, man.
You know, it's funny, like, our other countries take our stuff, and once we're done with it, they continue on with it, and they make it better, right?
Yeah.
If you think about, like, from a hip-hop head, you're tired of mumble rap, what's the exact opposite of it? Grime, where they just chopping bars, like, hella fast. And believe it or not, I was peeping this Ed Sheeran R&B grime track where it's called Taking Back to London Town. And he has like 3 grime rappers on it. And it is sick. It's like better than most R&B or hip hop songs that are out right now. And it's Ed Sheeran. And you wouldn't think Ed Sheeran, I was listening to a story. When Ed Sheeran first came to Hollywood, he stayed on Jamie Foxx's couch for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So the story was, Ed Sheeran was trying to come up, and Jamie Foxx was like, at the time, he had this big house. He's like, hey, if you come through, I got a studio. Let's see what you got. So the story was, Jamie Foxx had this show in LA, like at a club, where it's like it's like a showcase for artists, right? So he said, these are his words only. He goes, it was blacker than black in there. Ed Sheeran was like a white speck of salt inside of a sea of darkness, right? So they had all these artists come up. They were playing R&B. They were playing funk. And then Ed Sheeran walked up there, and one of them came up to Jamie Foxx like, who is this guy? Come on, man. Why are you doing this like that? And Jamie Foxx goes, just give him a minute. And then 6 seconds later, or 6 minutes later, standing ovation. Ed Sheeran is that kind of, that's why I say, like, cats in the UK, they took hip-hop, they made it their own. R&B, if you remember, what's that thing? Return of the Mac? Isn't that dude's from the UK too? But that's one of the dopest. I think that came out in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it was about 95.
Yeah, but that's still one of the dopest beats ever, right? I think it was a sample of Genius of Love that he took, and then he put some vocals over it. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the newer R&B tracks that I still fuck with.
It's also a sample of
Mark Morrison. There you go.
It's also a sample of Chucky Booker. Game.
Why you want to play your game? Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Chucky Booker, man. Chucky Booker. He built Bad Boy off that song, that one song.
Hey, man.
That's how Bad Boy started.
I'm gonna tell you somebody. I'm gonna tell you another group that's from the UK, man. That a lot of people don't even know, man. Lucians they're from the UK.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
That song used to bump hard as hell, man, by Loose Ends.
It's a guy that came out. Go ahead, Sean.
When it comes to Loose Ends, like they were like the early version of neo soul before neo soul really blew up. You know, like they really introduced elements that we saw later on with Erykah Badu and D'Angelo and stuff. I always look at Loose Ends as the '80s neo soul, and then it grew in the '90s.
Yeah.